What are your thoughts on masturbation?
If you can't find somebody, you can do it yourself.
When you do masturbate, how do you do it? Do you watch porn? Do you use your imagination? What comes to mind?
Zendaya.
How often do you masturbate?
Every other week, maybe. Like whenever I feel a little stressed and I don't got no weed, you handle it another way. It's cheaper than weed, and it's cheaper than taking somebody out too. And people aren't available all the time, but I'm always available, so.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Both Sides of the Bed. We are your hosts, Ahmir
And Basirah.
And today, we're going to talk about masturbation. Everyone's favorite fun time activity, at least at one point or another.
A single activity.
So we're going to get into it today.
Solo activity is what I meant to say.
It's a very solo activity. Very intimate thing.
Yeah.
Very intimate thing. Do we have a sex fact about masturbation
Absolutely
today? We had to do a sex fact on masturbation.
Yes.
So what you got for us?
Today's sex fact is idiosyncratic masturbation is extremely common amongst men and women. What this means is that your body has become so accustomed to your habitual ways of self-pleasure that when you're with your partner, you might struggle to climax because your partner may not be able to recreate the exact sensations that get you off when you're alone.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about the possibility of that. I don't think I've ever had that experience where I've masturbated so much that I can't replicate a similar enough feeling to get off with.
I beg to differ.
Not for that. It's not that.
When I say I beg to differ, I don't mean about like you're unable to climax, but like when I jerk you off, you do like it a very certain way, and I can tell from the way that my hands are moving, it's very similar to the way that if you held your own penis. Like what that feeling would be.
I guess I associated with everything that comes with masturbation and like the stimuli when choosing to masturbate, because it's like that's like just a technique that I like when getting my dick stroked, so it's like different.
Yeah, it's one that you've been doing over and over. It's a habitual pattern. It's not a bad thing, but it's just a pattern.
I guess so. I think I was thinking about like the type of porn you watch surrounding it, and like just the whole experience, not just the physical movement of your hand.
No, this is talking about just the
specifically
physical, like the physical attributes that come with it.
Okay, it's definitely a zone on my dick that I like.
There's a strong zone. I know, because my hands always cramp, and then when I try to switch, you tell me to go back.
There's a zone. I guess there is truth to that. How about for you?
No, I don't think it's the same. Well, one, I do masturbate in the same way just about every time. But the way that I finger myself, like I like to finger myself when I'm laying like flat on my stomach. So I can't really do that with somebody who's fingering me. It'd just be really awkward.
I recently learned that a lot of women masturbate in this way.
Yeah.
I did have the envision of the sexy, the candles lit, laid back on the pillow.
Back.
Yeah, just going all the way in, body moving around all crazy, breasts just swinging, hair flying. I had all that in my head.
No.
Toes curling, but now y'all just be laying on your stomachs, man, regular, just getting at it.
I think if somebody walked in while I was masturbating, one, it just wouldn't look sexy. Two, you probably wouldn't know what I'm doing unless I'm like ass naked. But I'm usually like under my covers.
And the covers too. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or like holding the phone. It's not a sexy scene.
Holding the phone can make it a little awkward. Yeah,
I don't like watching it on my computer because I feel like, I don't know, it's more searchable, even though like when I do, regardless of the device, I put it on private, but I just feel like it's searchable.
Why more searchable?
I have no idea.
That's just some bullshit you made up in your
head.
It
is. 1000% I made that up.
It's all to say. I do rock with private too. And even though I know if the government wanted to see what I was doing for whatever reason, they gonna see what type of porn, whether it's private or not. I'm just saying, like, who else? The
government knows I'm a freak at this point. What I care about is if, like, I die and somebody's like, I just want to know what she was looking up, and like, it was hoping that it's like some cute skirt or something, and it's just like the craziest porn.
Who's looking in your search history after you die? Creeps.
I don't know.
Some weird shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That is weird.
But I do it for that, and also just so shit doesn't pop up on my phone necessarily or whatever,
I hate
or
it
just
when-
to have it's a separate set of tabs.
Yeah, I hate it when where I fuck up is I will put it in private to masturbate and then forget to take it like out of private.
It'd be a private.
So then my stuff so then I have like 300 tabs in private, so I have to like go back and forth because I don't remember what is what, and it just fucks me up. Or like what's really fucked up is when you put it in private thinking you're doing something and then forget to X out of that shit. So then somebody goes in your phone. This has never happened to me, but it has happened like I've experienced this with somebody else's phone where I like go in their Safari or something and it's just like pussy. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I've had that happen. I've had it in private.
I think that happened on your phone once.
I've had it either on my iPad. I think it was my iPad. I've had it up. It was on private, but it wasn't on an actual video, but an ad was up. And then Jazz had my phone or the app, my son had my thing, and then the ad popped up real quick. I don't know how long you saw it or whatever. And he was like, "Daddy, there's something inappropriate on your phone." I was like, "Oh shit." That was my one time. Ever since then, I've been super on it.
That's crazy.
I've been super on it.
How did you not die that day?
I was crazy. I felt just the sinking feeling in my stomach and just shame. Just, oh my God. Expose this boy.
He loved that word. It's inappropriate.
Expose this boy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So please, make sure you be on point with your privates.
Seriously. Just bare minimum exit out.
Yeah.
Because what always gets you is like, this makes it seem like we watch porn all the time. But like when you open a tab and then that like secret tab opens up but you didn't know and it's those ad pages.
What secret tab?
It's like, you know when you open up a tab in Safari or something?
Mm-hmm. I use Cool Chrome.
Well, regardless. Then like another one will open, like a whole other
Oh, when they throw you the ads. Yeah.
So like you exit out and then you're like, what are these 3 tabs?
That's what I'm saying. That's what happened. I thought I X'd my shit out. Apparently not.
Nah, they get you.
Yeah. But let's get into it.
Okay.
What do we masturbating to?
I usually masturbate to porn, but ever since Sexy Little You came in my life, it's been harder to watch porn. So then I'll like go to like our own private library, or just like sometimes even just a shirtless photo you would do it for me.
Really?
And then I get frustrated because I'm like, God damn, he's like invading my subconscious and my like porn brain, and it's like I can't even get off sometimes without it. Like I'll watch the stuff that usually just gets me there, and it just doesn't anymore.
I'm so flattered and honored that I can do that for you.
Yeah. Send me more dick pics. You
More
don't
dick
send me
pics.
a lot.
I just feel like you see my dick all the time.
No,
The pictures.
But it's very different when we're like separate. And then
dick-
sometimes like when we first started dating, you send me like old ass shit. And it's like, I'll know it's old because you didn't have your beard in this photo. You had your beard our whole relationship.
That was in the
like,
beginning. I didn't have.
Or like one time you sent me one, it was a really nice picture, but like half your tattoos weren't there. I'm like, this old ass photo.
That's in the beginning. I didn't have the whole catalog, set up yet. But now, it's grown. I didn't think you wanted dick pics anymore. You would like a good dick pic?
I love it, yeah.
Okay. I did send you the masturbation video. I found out.
That was really hot.
I found out recently in a Discord for a play party that we went to that women like masturbation videos and cum shot videos.
I like cum shot videos.
I had no idea.
I love a good cum shot video. Like the moaning.
Because like again, masturbation is a very intimate thing, and for me, it's very private. Even though I'm very open with my sexual behavior,
Yeah.
when that's the one area, surprisingly enough, I keep that shit separate. I don't even really talk about it. Damn sure you're not gonna see it. So even sending a video, even if I have full control over this video, it's just very vulnerable me sending it. So I remember when I sent it to you. Well, for one, I was trying to make sure I got the right angle and the light and all that shit is perfect.
Lighting and angle.
And I think I remember shooting it like 2 or 3 times. Like, nah, this ain't it. And I finally got it right, and it just like this feeling like almost shameful, like before I sent it, like, oh, this is bad. This can go really bad. It's a whole video of me fucking jerking off right now. But I was able to face that, and you actually liked it.
I loved it.
So yeah,
I watch it often.
I plan to do some more of those.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I had no idea that women, it's a phenomenon apparently.
There's a whole section on Pornhub.
For masturbation videos?
Yeah, cum shots.
Cum shots.
Yeah, cum shots specifically.
About a slow-mo cum shot.
I'm not a fan of it.
Not the slow-mo shooting out the head?
I'm not against it, but I'm just not, it's not like my go-to.
Got you.
But aside from like porn, recently I realized like how habitual my masturbation techniques have been. and it's just been really like flat experiences. So I've been trying to do more imagination. I love what's that app called, Dipsy? They do like erotic audio, so I love those, especially because you can like kind of create the story in your mind even though you're being told a story. So that's been like my go-to more often, but it takes like, I don't know, it takes a lot more energy. Like porn, because like porn is just like, okay, let me just rub one out and call it a day. But I can be like, from watching porn to like ending, I can be done in like 3 to 5 minutes. Which I never really feel fulfilled at the end of it. It's just like, oh, okay, like I guess I came. Now my sheets are wet and cool.
It don't take you that long.
Huh?
Only 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take me long.
It would take me like an hour and a half sometimes. I gotta find the video. So I'm sitting there digging my hand. I gotta go through scroll. I get into one.
Digging my hand.
Like it looks like I go by the thumbnail. Oh, this looks cool. All right, I fast forward. I never watched the beginning of porn. 99% of the time, never watched the beginning of that shit. So I'm scrolling through trying to find my zone where I really like it. Then it'll be good for a minute. Then the fucking cameraman will fuck something up, or or they're just doing some whack ass angles or whatever the reason. I'm like, this ain't the one.
That bothers you in regular movies, so I can only imagine how you feel about it in porn.
Yeah, so I gotta stop mid video, go find another one until I find the right one. This process could take maybe about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending.
I had no
or
idea.
If I really just want to prolong it, or it's like, this is good, I don't want to come yet though. I just want to watch some more shit. Then I'll just watch a few videos. But typically, my sessions last for about 45 to an hour. 45.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's how like my sex is, but not my masturbation.
That's funny.
But it's just become this like really mundane experience for me. So I've been like trying to like explore more. So like when I listen to Dipsy, or just erotic anything, I just take more time and I listen to the story, because same as you, I just like skip that beginning part. But when you have like a whole like storyline and it's really sexy, it just takes you somewhere. I'm able to like take my time with it, and it's just like a whole different experience.
I've tried to get into Dipsy when we played it. It's cool. It's like the stories can be sexy, and like I can get into it for the story of it, but it never gets my dick hard though. It's like, it's fun. I get with this. This is sexy right here, but never it makes me want to actually masturbate. Not even close. I never get that urge. The only thing that ever makes me get the urge to actually go and follow through and masturbate in a moment is porn. That's it. I can't think of nothing in my head. I can't look at a picture. Pictures never did it for me. I can't look at a still image and masturbate to it. I could never understand how.
Maybe your imagination is lacking.
Nah, I got plenty of imagination. When I'm watching the video. Like I put myself there and I think about the things that I would do in these moments in between what I'm watching. But other than actual porn, I cannot. I've tried just nothing. Just close my eyes and just connect with myself and all that shit. No. I can, I can feel a little something, but I'm not gonna come off that. It's porn, and it's intense porn. Intense.
I think it's because, like they say, like men are more visual and women are more auditory. So maybe that is why. Maybe you
Could
fall
play a
into
role.
that strong category.
I'm a very visual person.
So when did you start masturbating?
I started masturbating 8th grade, I want to say.
How old are we in 8th grade?
8th grade was what, 14? No, 13. Yeah, I was 13. Yeah, 8th grade. And I felt like I was late. I feel like I heard a lot of my friends masturbating around that time, like that this was the thing, because nobody was having sex yet, but it was like masturbation was the thing. And I remember like the first time I actually did it. So the first time this was around the time when Monsters Ball came out. You know that movie with Halle Berry?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, she's in the movie. I can't remember dude's name, but she's fucking like this older dude or whatever, and it's like this intense sexiness. Halle Berry is this whole thing. So I remember I was able to catch it on HBO, and I remember that was the first time like I had an urge, like, oh, this is the time I should probably start masturbating. My dick definitely got hard, but I still just didn't go through with it then. But like after that day, horniness just was like my homie. He followed me. Yeah, it's like it activated it, so it was just always around. But I just still never activated on it and just did something about it. So I remember randomly one night, I was watching Half Baked. I know this is a funny ass story, but I'm watching Half Baked. I watched this shit mad times. I know this movie back and front is mad funny. And I'm just chilling, watching my movie like usual. I don't remember what part came on, but it's completely irrelevant because my horniness had nothing to do with Half Baked. It's fucking Half Baked. Nothing about this is gonna make me horny. But I remember there's just this strong rush of horniness came over me while watching the movie, where I had to just pause the movie and just feel what I was feeling. Like, yo, I gotta take care of this right now. Like, I can't even, I can't even continue with my movie right now. This shit right here needs to get handled. And I remember that I did for the first time to nothing. Actually, that was probably the one and only time I just did. I didn't watch anything in that moment. It was the one and only time because just the intensity was so crazy in that moment. And then from there, just kept on. I just started jerking off all the goddamn time, all the time. Multiple times a day. I used to go on marathons, heavy marathons, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I wonder if my mother ever hear this. I remember one time I masturbated because she had a hair salon business. So I remember one time I was in the shop by myself.
That's crazy.
And it was the one time I remember I went to the bathroom, I masturbated in there, and I felt just so guilty and so ashamed. Like, I'm so fucking crazy for this. By then I was in high school.
Dirty boy.
Dirty boy. That's the only time I ever masturbated in like a public bathroom. I never masturbated at work, though I wanted to many times. But again, it's just very private for me, so I usually reserve it for the crib. Yeah, how about you?
7th grade, Pleasantville story. That's when it began for me.
That was the first time, right?
That was my first time.
And now I saw the movie since then. Yo, check out Pleasantville. Number one, that's just a great movie in general. But to be able to see that scene that you referenced when that woman masturbated for the first time, it's really dope.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. But so that was my first time, 7th grade. And from then I masturbated like consistently, but it wasn't like all the time. But it wasn't until I got older that I just started masturbating a lot, like in my 20s, early 20s, and marathons like 3, 4, 5 times a day. Especially if I had like nothing to do and I'm just chilling. It's like, okay, like Netflix, eat, masturbate, Netflix, eat, masturbate, shower. Now I feel dirty, masturbate again. And that's just kind of like the flow of it. But yeah, it was pretty a consistent thing. Even now, like if I have a lot of time on my hands, I'll masturbate a lot.
Multiple times in a day still?
Yeah.
Can you go back to back? Like, can you come and then just go right into another one?
It depends if I use my vibrator or not. If I use my vibrator, because it's a pretty strong one, my shit be a little sensitive, so she need a break. So after like that break is over, then I could. Okay,
because I feel like after a session, I need a strong 30 minutes. I'm just not even horny anymore. Yeah, I'm just not even horny.
But like that's the other thing I was saying earlier about like I'm able to come when I masturbate, but it's like such a unfulfilled experience as a whole that it makes me want to keep doing it. So it's like I'll come like 3, 4 times, but just like very unfulfilled orgasms.
Why don't you feel fulfilled?
I think it's just like the process. I feel really disconnected to it in my body because it's just like going into those habitual ways of masturbating that I'm not even able to connect to my own imagination or my own body. It's just like going straight to the clit, DJing it out and moving on. Where like the times where I've actually spent time, like touching the rest of my body, touching my breasts, my inner thighs, all that jazz, and it makes just the experience a lot more just fruitful and juicy.
Yeah, I feel that in terms of just needing to get right to it. It's nothing more of a whole connection thing. It's just like, let me handle this real quick so I can go on about my business. And so, yeah, after that first one, the second one ain't really quite the same. Unless I'm watching something that's really fire, or after that first, I'm just really horny. The rare occasion when I'm really horny, I can go right back into another one. But after that first one, I'm completely fine. I don't need another one for another 30 to an hour at least.
Yeah, and also just like the porn that I watch, which I'm not gonna get into, so don't even ask. I just like, I'll finish and just be like, ew.
It's crazy because that moment right after you come, where you come back to your senses.
Like, your hands are even off your genitals yet.
It's immediately.
Like, it's so immediate.
I think that's like your actual true thoughts, your real self showing itself. Like, when you're horny, you could think about whatever shit that makes sense in your mind.
We had a fact that said something along the lines of when you're horny or like when you're just engaging in sex, you find things less disgusting. So I think it's just like that whole process in your brain, and once that horniness goes, like the things that you normally find disgusting are like coming back to the forefront.
Yeah, I think if you want to think about should I have sex with somebody, you should go masturbate, bust a good nut, and then think about it. Because that's the moment of clarity, a moment of pure understanding. Now you think, should I fuck this person?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'll get it done. But it's so funny that feeling happens afterwards.
Yeah. So it's like I think because of like that feeling coming up, I start like just going into like the shame cycle. Like, why are you into this, or why are you watching that? And then also just not feeling fulfilled. So it's just like going back into it, just like I'll do it, but like it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I found this this. It's not a course, but it's like this little a challenge, if you will. It's like a 6 or 8 week challenge, masturbation challenge, and it's talking about like learning to touch yourself in lots of different ways. So I've been really considering doing that because I really want to get connected to my body again in that way.
So what kind of things were in it that could be stretched out over the course of 6 to 8 weeks? Because it seems like masturbation is pretty straightforward, at least I think from a male side. I can't speak for all men, but I know for myself and just many men that I know, it's a quick, we just get in there, handle our business and move on about our day. It's nothing else surrounding it other than that action in that moment.
I can't think off the bat what was on the course, but things that I just know about masturbation, how it can be more fulfilling, because it is something that I've been researching, is one, just breathing. I notice like even when I'm having sex, just like it takes me a minute to just connect with my breath. And when I'm able to, it's just when you breathe, more oxygen is being pushed through your body, so there's more blood flow. And with more blood flow, you have deeper orgasms. So just like being more intentional about my breath, because I hold my breath a lot during sex, and it's just like when I finally release that breath, or just remember, or if you tell me to, then it's just like, oh, okay, then everything just feels a lot more yummy. So just like maybe practicing that during masturbation.
I can agree with that. I think really having nice, deep, connected breaths helps my body relax. And the more my body relaxes, the harder I can come at the end of it. That's why I like laying down. I mean, I can be fine in standing up too, but laying down, I can allow my legs to relax. And so, I find I come the hardest with laying back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Also, like orgasm control, just like being, not necessarily stopping yourself from orgasm, but just like being more in tune and connecting, like what a part of my body is starting to tingle, like how can I amplify that just by paying attention to it, and just being more connected with what's happening with your body. So that's kind of what the course is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, I guess, how or why, like what at this point, maybe not when you're younger, but like now, like what brings you to start masturbating?
I think just having pent up energy and just like kind of needing to release. A lot of times nowadays I masturbate to, if I'm masturbating at night, because I'm usually a morning masturbator, if I masturbate at night, it's to go to sleep, because it's just like a release and I can just like knock out. In the morning, if I need to masturbate, it's just kind of like, it's a distraction. And it's like, okay, I need to release this energy so I can just feel more grounded. So it's usually those for me.
I feel that. Now, because when having sex in the morning or early afternoon, I tend to shy away from that because it just depletes me and just makes me need to fall asleep and just catch a good solid hour or two nap. But with masturbation, it's different. I don't know what it is. Maybe because my body is not fully engaged actively the way it is during sex. But it's cool. It's just kind of, it kind of starts my day off with a certain tone where I feel just nice and relaxed and grounded and connected to my body, that I can just get started with my day and I don't feel a lack of energy. If I did have any pent up stress or whatever, I'm able to just clear my mind, do that, and it does help a lot. But a lot of times I'll masturbate at night when I want to just wrap my night up, kind of like a nightcap, drink, but instead of that, I masturbate. So I might smoke and masturbate, and it helps me go to sleep, especially because sometimes I do have trouble with sleeping. So it helps me go to sleep, helps me relieve stress, or I'm just my horniest a lot of times after dark. I just get more horny. Just my mind just goes straight freak mode. It just does. So, you know, if I'm not gonna have sex, I just go take care of that. That's a lot of times my marathons happen at night, for sure. Yeah, so whether it's I just need to release this horny feeling, or I just want to engage in feeling good in that way, or I just want to watch some freak shit, and masturbation is a byproduct of me just wanting to watch some freak shit. Because sometimes, again, I'll still use porn as a reference tool for things I want to start incorporating in my sex tool bag. So I'll go on there just to watch that. But, you know, as a byproduct, my dick's going to get hard. I'm going to get horny. All right, let me take care of that too. Let me not go to sleep with blue balls, you know, unnecessarily.
Blue balls are really a thing. Have you ever suffered from the blue ball?
It's a thing. I don't think that my balls ever got actually blue, but yeah, I think blue in terms of sadness. That's what the blue actually means. It's the sadness that the balls go through. Yeah.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Sounds real.
So I do have some reasons why people masturbate. It's the spiking and then crashing of dopamine and serotonin levels. So what that is all about just like making you feel really, really, really good. And just like that rush of orgasm of all those hormones rushing through your veins, and then a crash. So it's like kind of all those good feeling hormones leaving your body at the same time. So the benefit to that is sleep. So it's like that feel good, and then just like crash until you pass out. But the negative to that is you're relying on peak orgasm or ejaculation as a way to hit the dopamine reward systems in your brain. So it's just this really temporary feeling of good. So a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people, when they experience like those marathon masturbation sessions like we were speaking of, it's just like that can be the only source of dopamine that they get.
Right.
And that's just not really conducive to a healthy lifestyle.
All right, because I was gonna ask, what could be detrimental? Like I think we know the positives and how it can make you feel good and release those positive chemicals, and help you with sleep and stress relief and all that. But on the flip side, like, you know, what can be the detrimental effects of masturbation? Because for me, I think, and just even in my experience at different points in my life, especially when I started watching more intense porn, and it's kind of like a drug in a sense, like, you know, once you get that one hit, you can rock with that for a little while, but after a certain point, it's not going to give you that same high as it used to. So now you got to watch something even more intense and even more intense and even more intense. And so I remember just at certain points in my life where I would watch some wild shit and then go have sex with my partner, and it just wouldn't necessarily hit the same. Like, it's cool, but it ain't the same. Or sometimes at its worst, like, it'd be hard to get my dick hard because it's not, we're not doing the shit I watch on porn. So how can you match what I'm watching there? So I think it's definitely, you know, a balancing act. Yeah. In a sense.
Absolutely. And it goes back to our sex fact and talking about those idiosyncratic masturbation techniques and just like going into those habitual patterns. Like you were saying about like you watch this extreme porn, and then when you have sex with a partner, it's just harder to connect. So I guess mentally for you, that's where those habitual patterns start to mess up your experiences with partners. Whereas for some or most, it's the physical. So it's like you're having these sensations that you're giving to yourself, and they're so routine, they're so habitual, especially if you're someone who's doing it all the time, that when you have a different sensation, this does nothing for you. And that's not good, because I feel like, you know, there's so many different parts of our body that just awards you to experience, you know, sex at a high level and award you just different sensations. So if you're so disconnected from them, that's just not fun, in my opinion. But also it just like it makes it hard for us to really understand the capacity of orgasm that we can have.
I get that. And that's why I think I'll go through waves where I might have a week where I might do it 3 or 4 times in the week, and then I might go a few weeks and not do it at all, and then come back. And I think that's been a perfect balance for me to keep it in its right, proper perspective and be able to enjoy it, get all the benefits, and then also not fuck up my actual sex. And you know, there's a huge movement. You know about the no-fap movement?
No what?
No-fap.
No.
F-A-P. Never heard of it? Heavy, yeah. Just Google it on YouTube. Put it on YouTube. No-fap, basically, where men will just go for long, extended periods of time without masturbating. And it's supposed to really help in terms of long-term benefits, in terms of clarity, more energy, ability to focus, you know, just a positive outlook on life, and just a lot of deeper benefits of it. And I can see a place for that for sure, and challenging that. And I think at some point I will like to just try it, because I can't say that it's good or not good if I haven't tried it for myself. So I encourage people to just even explore that as an option if they know masturbating has been a thing in their life and they maybe want to, tailor that. But yeah, you should check it out too, for sure. Just to know, there's a huge movement, huge.
I went through a phase where when I learned that sexual energy is the same as creative energy, like as far as like meridians and all that stuff is concerned. So they say if like you are feeling horny or just like wanting to have sex or whatever you want to call it, if you then channel that energy instead of masturbating or having sex with a partner or partners, to channel it creatively. So I was doing that for a while when I was living in Cali, and I got some really cool artwork out of it, and just like refocusing it to just like even just in school and just studying and just like refocusing my brain that way. That was a really interesting time because it really is connected, and it challenges your brain to really think about the purpose of why you do things. Like, why do I want to masturbate? Why do I want to create? Or why do I want to do anything? And what is the energy level that I have of it? Like, what capacity can I go to? Because, like, sure, if we masturbate every time we're horny, it's just like your capacity for just like feeling horny could be really low.
Yeah.
So it's just like it can become a distraction in your life.
Yeah. I definitely think sometimes I've been in situations where I know I'm stressed, or I just have this pent up uncomfortable energy about some shit that's going on in my life in that moment, and I'll like try to make myself horny. Like I'll put something on and find something that'll eventually turn me on when I wasn't even horny. Like I could have just went to sleep, or I could have just been doing something else right now, but I intentionally tried to make myself horny, and yeah, that just didn't serve me in that way. And that was just one of those moments where it was detrimental to myself. And so the whole transmutation of sexual energy, that's a discipline that I do want to start incorporating for certain periods of my life. Like maybe I'll go 30 days, 2 months, 3 months
without masturbating, without sex.
Masturbate. I'm not with the whole not sex
part. I'm down with the
not
not sex part. Before we get into that, like what you were just saying about just forcing yourself to masturbate, that's like your brain seeking that dopamine reward system. It's just like trying to feel good in some way. But I went through a phase where I was just not having sex. And I was masturbating at that time, but just not as much. And it really did just shift my perspective and just like where I was mentally. I would love to try that now that, I'm in a relationship with consistent sex. I'd love to see what that does for us. Like what are ways that we can connect outside of sex?
I would love to do that too. I'm not ready right now though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not even gonna lie to you, especially with all these conversations we're having and just where I am. I just feel like I'm at my prime. Like I've just reached my prime in terms of being a sexual being, especially as a man. And I just want to fully capitalize on this point in my life. Like maybe in my 40s, that seems something more appropriate, like long term. Like maybe I'll just go 4 or 6 months without sex.
Whoa, hold on.
Oh, that's too long for you. That. Well, how long you talk about?
Strong 28 to 31 days.
Oh, we can do that shit. We can do that.
I'm not talking. No.
What's 30? What's 28 days? That ain't
28
really.
days. You can create a habit.
But exactly, it'll be a habit at that point. You should be able to go further.
No, you can create a habit of allowing your brain to expand in different ways. But that doesn't have to stop just because you're having sex now. But I'm not trying to go 6 months with not. No, I'm not doing that. You can do that. I'm not doing that.
I can see myself doing a solid 90 days. I could do 96 is a little much.
6 months. I can finagle a 90 days.
I could do a 90 days, but I'm not ready for that right now.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. I'm rolling right now. I'm having the best sex of my life. Like I'm really finding myself as a sexual being. Thank you for your contributions.
Absolutely.
For sure.
No, I agree with you. I also am not at that place right now. I think later down the line that would be really fun and interesting to try. But I also feel the same. Like I feel like I'm at my sexual prime where I know my body, I know what I want, and it's just fucking fun right now. I don't want to stop.
Yeah. But let's talk about some specific benefits of masturbation. You hinted at it before, just in terms of like when I like to masturbate, I know exactly what part of my shaft that is like that true pleasure zone for me. Like I know it really makes me feel good. Yeah. So much so I can articulate it to you perfectly. And so you know exactly where it is, you know how to do it. And I think if I didn't masturbate, I guess as much as I do, and I didn't really know what I enjoyed in that way, I'd kind of just let you do whatever you wanted and maybe be trying to figure out how to tell you what to do, but not necessarily know how to just specifically tell you because I don't know for myself. So for me, definitely in terms of being able to instruct you on what I like has been a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think that in my experiences of just exploring my body, I've really learned what works for me and what doesn't. And like what can work for me at some point, or if I fine tune that or we fine tune that with each other. But yeah, masturbation is a great tool to get to know yourself. It always shocks me when people say that they don't masturbate. I think there's so much benefit to connecting with your own body, to exploring your own body. The first time I ever squirted was from masturbation. And with that, I was just like, oh, I can squirt. Like, that's really cool to know. And just like knowing what type of sensation I need to get there, or just like what part of my clitoris needs to be stimulated. It's like I wouldn't have learned that if I just never touched myself. So I think that is just the ultimate pro to masturbating.
Real quick, super fun fact about that. So one time I masturbated and I used a vibrator. I got really high one day and just got fucking creative. And I put it on the head of my dick while I was masturbating. And it was just a new level of sensation. I think I just had it in a perfect spot. Plus I was really high. So I just think my senses were just heightened to such a level where I actually fucking squirted.
Whoa.
Did I tell you about this ever?
Yeah, you did. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I actually squirted from masturbating. I'm like, what the I was so...
Was it like clear?
Yeah, it was like pee. It seemed like pee the way it was flowing, but it was not pee. It felt slightly different coming out than pee does. But if somebody would just watch, they just think I'm just peeing right now. And it was just flowing and flowing and flowing. And just...
Did you keep the vibrator on it?
Yeah, just kept it going. Just long. I was just shocked and like I just was fascinated by it, and I just kept going. It was like a solid 20 seconds. Wow. I want to say it was so much. My bed was crazy soaked, but I'm like, what the fuck? This may never happen again. I'm trying to maximize this level of orgasm. It was just crazy, and I know it sounds crazy. Like, you just fucking peed on yourself, or you just did some other shit. No, men in some way, shape, or form are able to squirt. We're able to squirt. It happens very rarely, but I was one, and it happened for me. So yeah, that was a wild experience.
That's so awesome. Has that ever happened to you again?
No, but I haven't really tried it that much. I think I tried it once or twice since then. It was so intense though, to maintain that. Plus I didn't really want to fuck up my sheets or anything because it was so much.
You can use a sex blanket.
Could use a sex blanket. We got that now.
We do.
But yeah, I was... Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't know. I'm good. I don't necessarily need it again. It was just so wild to me that it was possible, though.
Yeah, I need to squirt again.
I want you to squirt again.
I want to squirt again.
I haven't made you squirt in quite a while. We gotta. Yeah, we gotta. Because you're a vibrator clit squirter.
Yeah,
for sure.
I need intense clitoral stimulation for that, and my clitoral stimulator has broken. That was rough. That was a loss. That was grief, mourning. That was rough.
But I think for me, because I want you to be able to squirt with me using my hand, and I know you're very much into the gentle, subtle touches.
Not always.
I want to give you a good, because I know how to do it right there hitting the G-spot. I want to give you the good working of your pussy and make you squirt in that way.
I just need consistency.
Consistency with what?
Just like consistent stimulation. Like there's no veering off. There's no your hand cramps. You just gotta push through that shit.
You gotta. Hand cramps is just part of the game. I understand.
My hands be cramping.
Yeah, I just be feeling like it'd be too intense for you right now. But if you're telling me that you're ready for that,
yeah. I mean, but there's so much not so much, but there's a time and a place for that.
Yeah. So let me know when you're ready to partake in some squirting, and we can go.
I'm ready.
All right, let's do some squirting now.
Okay.
That's my shit. I love it.
It is.
I love it.
We've made a few vaginas squirt in our bed.
Yeah, the wetter the better. All day.
Before we go and switch it up to how you can switch it up, another reason why people masturbate is because we're under so much stress. Also, we're poorly nourished and socially isolated, especially after pandemic time, and overly medicated. So it's just like our bodies are really craving some type of out to receive that dopamine reward system. So it's harder for us to just not. And sometimes like we're so out of it that just having sex with someone else is too much energy. So yeah, it's a lot.
Damn. So is it like almost boredom or just not knowing what to do with yourself?
I think both. Also just like kind of needing some type of feel good something that you can't really find another way because of, you know, all that's happening in your life. It's just too much stuff to deal with. The only thing that's just simple, quick, and easy is masturbating. But in ways that we can switch it up and be more orgasmic, is the more orgasmic we are, the more sensations we have. So it switches our focus and awareness to let go and just be in the moment. So really just figuring out how to have the most sensation possible, the most pleasurable sensation possible. It really just switches your focus on how you receive pleasure just as a whole. Another one is being curious about your own body. There's no right or wrong way to be present and to explore your body. So just learning yourself and not be embarrassed is 9 times out of 10 if you're masturbating, you're alone. So don't worry about what you look like. Like just be in the moment, make the ugly faces and the weird moans, and just enjoy it and understand what your body is like.
Yeah, that's one of the fun parts about it. I think I can be free in that way. Not that I think I make the craziest faces, but just being able to be free in that way when I just really come really hard in a way that I may not necessarily be able to fully go to when someone is present. I think when I'm just by myself, it just naturally goes to another level. But yeah, just real quick, kind of to touch in on that, just in any kind of shame around masturbation, would you say that is there any shame around women masturbating, just the idea of women masturbating, or are y'all talking about masturbation amongst yourselves or a male partner, and how they view a woman as, you know, a woman that masturbates? Is there anything shameful around that?
I don't know. In my experience, just with talking with my friends, we don't really talk about masturbating ever. We've talked about sex, we talked about all the other stuff, but masturbating is no.
Interesting.
And when I do bring it up to people, they like kind of, I don't know, I've got a lot of like, I don't masturbate, or like I don't need to that often, or I'm with somebody so I don't need to. And I think a lot of just people in general equate not needing to masturbate with, or masturbation and having a partner, and just like one being a little less necessary because you have a partner to have sex with you. But masturbating and having sex are two completely different things. Yeah. So I don't know. I never understood that. But as far as just like shame, I don't know. It was in a way, yeah. It just, yeah.
Yeah, you do feel that.
I think I felt that a lot just growing up and just being in my early 20s, just like, you know, just, I don't know, women being sexual in general is just shameful in this country. So there's that, but I don't know. I never really considered so much added levels of it. I think that with most people, it's just like a really private thing that they do it as much as they want, whenever they want in private, so nobody else has to, you know, play shame on you because nobody else knows.
Right. Huh, that's interesting. I guess for men, and again, I can't speak for all men, it just seems like the tone of the conversation when men talk about it, we can talk about it in a bit of a free way. Just the fact that we do it is fine, and we can kind of make jokes around it and just like jerk off, you know, yeah, man, like, you know, it's just kind of silly and fun in that way where men can get that off. But I think when it really comes down to it and like really looking at it and inspecting it, you know, for lack of a better word, and really talking about how you do it and what you do it to and anything like that, or a partner watching you, that's when the shit stops. Yeah, at least for me. Like, I could tell you what I watch when I watch porn. I could tell you, I tell you I masturbate. But for you to watch me, you've only seen me more so recently, and it hasn't been that many times where I'll do it in front of you, like in the midst of sex.
Yeah.
So it's only been a handful of times, and I think only now for the first time am I really so comfortable with myself sexually that I'm able to be vulnerable in that way, to fully go there. And I definitely know, like, I had an experience before where, like, with my ex, like, it was just like, she caught me masturbating one time, and because I did it in the shower, she was just so disgusted, and it made me feel like, well, damn, I guess all the times she had to ask her, I don't know what it was, And it's not like I don't clean up after myself or anything like that. So it definitely shouldn't have been that. But it was just like the level of disgust as she pulled the curtain back and saw me. And I just felt so embarrassed and so shameful and just so wrong.
Did she say anything?
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Yeah, she got loud. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just the whole thing. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it was like, I might as well have just been beating somebody up or something, or fucking somebody else in the shower. I might as well have been fucking somebody else in the shower. That's what it was like.
Do you think that came from like a space of them not? I don't know. There's like some people who have that idea of like you don't need to masturbate because you have, you know, my body at your disposal. Do you think it was coming from that type of space?
For her, just given the level of insecurity she had in other areas, definitely I can see some of that. I think also just because she's probably a little bit more sexually suppressed, probably a lot. Like we would have pretty freaky sex, but we never talked about and explored, let's be freaky or let's be kinky. We never ventured that far. So I think it was still just being very close-minded to, yeah, masturbation is fine and in general. But I just remember though that just that feeling that I was, yeah, because I remember just being around you, like I would tippy toe around and just make sure you had no idea
usually
when I would do it.
When I was leaving the house.
Yeah, you just absolutely would never know. And it was really reassuring when you asked me one time, like, were you masturbating? And I told you. And it was like, oh, okay. You could see like the embarrassment of me knowing that you knew there, and just the reassurance where it's like, oh, okay, that's fine, or like that's sexy, that's kind of hot.
Yeah.
And that really went a long way. So I appreciate you for that, because that stayed with me for a long time. Just that shame and just having to do it by myself or just hide the fact that I even did it, especially around my partner. So I thank you for that.
Absolutely. One, there's nothing you should be shameful with me about. It's that. But I do remember, I think I walked in on you and I'm just like, you were in the shower. We have like glass doors. We don't have a curtain. So I'm like, I think he's masturbating. But I like also saw like your discomfort that I didn't want to like, I thought it was hot. I was like, ooh, can I join? Like, I thought it was really, really sexy. But I could see like your discomfort. And I didn't really understand where that was coming from, especially like with you and I. And so it's just like, oh, okay. And then it happened again. But I don't think you noticed that I noticed. So I just like was just like, I'm gonna be silent. So like now, anytime like if I'm coming in, like if I'm coming from my place and you're in the shower, I'm just like, I'll just wait till he opens the door. Or like if I go in because I have to, I'm just like so awkward that I'm just like, can I come? No, okay, bye. So yeah, there's that. But I do appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but shower has kind of been my new happy place. It's like the water is very meditative for me, or like just feeling it on my body a little bit. It's become my new place, because before then it was always on the bed 100% of the time, and it went from computer. Yeah, as technology evolved, it went from big ass laptop computer, them big shit, to my phone. Then I had to hold my phone. So I had to hold my phone with the wired headphones. I have to put the wire behind my neck so it's out the way so I can have full access. And then it went to earbuds, so I didn't need the wire no more. And then I got the iPad with the stand, so I could hold it. So that was groundbreaking. So I had the iPad sitting on the bed. I didn't need this big ass laptop no more, and I was free at last. And that's where I am now.
I like to listen to it on my AirPods because I like to listen to people moan. So I like to listen to it really loudly. But also, at a point, I kind of stop watching because it's just like I don't really need to. Or like when I am coming really hard, I like my body like convulses and I get like really statue-like. And so it's like I kind of like drop my phone and I just like to be able to just hear what's going on.
Oh, that'll fuck it up for me.
Yeah?
I hate when I'm fucking coming and either the fucking internet will go out or like it's just what's this shit called? The fucking that wheel comes spinning.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck there. I'm like, oh fuck, I just wasted this shit. Or like, you know, maybe I'll skip or something will happen where I'm just not where I need it to be. I drop the phone. I hate it. I need to see all of that. Or if it's a good scene and I'm about to come and all of a sudden it goes to some whack shit, then I gotta try to hold it and bring it back to the scene I really like so I can finish off. Yeah, nah, I need full uninterrupted focus and seeing exactly what I need to see.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But you are a very loud moaner. You fully embody your moans. So I imagine that you really can get loud sometimes.
When I masturbate, not as much. Not as much, no.
Unless there's a vibrator involved.
No, just not as much when I'm masturbating.
Even still.
Yeah.
I've seen you, even with just a vibrator, you get busy.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel more. I don't really feel that comfortable moaning by myself. I think I said this before on another episode where I was talking about how I was in school. And one of these girls in my class was talking about masturbating, and she was just like, "I think it's stupid when bitches masturbate by themselves. Like, not masturbate, like moan when they're by themselves. Like, who are you moaning for?" And it just like fucked it up for me.
When do you ever? I don't think I've ever moaned for you. I don't think I ever moaned for you. Do you moan for me?
No.
Yeah, just a natural reaction to pleasure.
But like when I'm masturbating, I don't know, I just think more about it. Like,
It's crazy how shit.
I like will groan, but I won't like moan.
Because that's in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy how shit from
years
back in the
ago.
day, just
from
really
some
stay with
fucking
you.
nobody. I couldn't tell you who said it.
It's crazy how that shit sticks with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. But okay. So another way to switch it up to get more connected with yourself is to breathe. We talked about that a little bit. But when you breathe, you have more control, and it's just common for people to just hold their breath. Like I was talking about how I do that often. And when you're deeping full, expansive inhales and exhales, in through the nose, out through the mouth, it just allows so much more oxygen in the body and just like so much more for your body to just release and relax. That you can just really fully embody the sensation or orgasm that you're experiencing. Also, touch yourself without distractions and challenge your imagination. Like I remember you saying that you haven't done this since I guess the first time you masturbated, but we become so dependent on porn, like what you were saying about how like the stuff you watch can get really intense that you had to like not schedule but like limit the amount of masturbation you were doing. So yeah, just like challenging yourself to like get back into your imagination. That's the challenge that I want to get into, of just like really connecting with my brain. My brain is fucking hot, and like I want to know, like, if I didn't depend so much on porn or erotica or whatever, what can I really experience in my own mind and my own body? But it also says that there's a lot of challenges with that. You can face just regular resistance of just like, this is fucking weird. Like, let me just turn some porn on. Shame for what can come up, boredom, sadness, self-judgment, whatever. All that stuff can come up when you do that type of thing. But just to push past it and just really figure yourself out.
But it's like, I am very creative in terms of scenarios and scenes that come to mind of all kind of wild shit I can do. I can see it very clearly. But I'm a very hands-on person. At bare minimum, I need to see it. But really, I'm more hands-on. That's what'll get me going. So like even when we go to parties, I can't even get off to watching people having sex at parties.
Yeah, you're not a voyeur at all.
No, so it's like even that. So it's like porn is the only visual stimuli I can even use. So if it's not even that, I can't imagine being able to just be in my head, just close my eyes, connect with myself, and just
like
love
when you're like
myself.
on shrooms.
It's better. It's better. But coming, like even getting anywhere near close to orgasm, I just can't see it at this moment. But I want to try. I'm gonna challenge myself. Maybe for maybe 30 days. I'll go 30 days and try to masturbate only to my mind.
I'll do that with you.
And see how that goes. Maybe day 1 through 10 might be crazy hard, and then maybe, no pun intended. And then maybe by day 20 it'll get a little bit easier.
Maybe get a little easier.
Yeah, but I would like to try that because as of right now, none. I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. Same. I really want to challenge myself and do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll do it together. We'll report back.
Let's try that out.
So that was actually a really good segue into my next point, which is enjoying the middle and the beginning just as much as the end. So masturbating doesn't have to just be about coming, even though just as a whole, that's kind of what we've been talking about and kind of why and how people masturbate, but just really enjoying the process and just enjoying your body and enjoying just your body experiencing sensation that you created for yourself, and just enjoying that first initial touch, the thoughts that come into your mind, the middle of it, and just like how it's expanding. And if you don't come, you don't come, but like the journey of it can be just as juicy if you allow it to be.
Yeah, I never even remotely thought about it like that. It's all about the destination for me.
Yeah.
Like there's no the process is just to get to the destination. I don't connect with. I don't even know what there is to connect with. I'm trying to think about it.
Your body.
I don't connect.
Connecting your brain and your mind and your body to just sensation.
I connect to my dick. I don't connect to my body.
Connecting your dick to purpose. Like, what is the purpose of you masturbating? Like, we mentioned that earlier. That was a point on here.
Now I will say I do enjoy the journey of the feel good, and as it builds up, the feeling good feels better as I continue. But it's specifically about my dick and specifically about him coming. Yeah. Like, there's no other parts of my body am I connected to. My mind, I guess I'm very connected to, and just immersing myself. I immerse myself into whatever it is that I'm watching intensely. I'm very observative to everything that's going on, and I put myself in the scene. So I got basically replace whatever dude is part of the scene and replace him with myself. So that's why I gotta watch porn. Huh?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I try to so that's why they gotta be fucking the way I would, or doing the shit that I would do to somebody in order for me to really be able to connect with it. That's why it takes me so long. A lot of times I'm sifting through scenes of just whack shit of dudes doing subpar dick laying, you know? So, but there's no connection to anything other than that. Yeah.
Are you interested in?
I don't even know what is there. I don't know what else. What does that even look like? Like, as a man, like, I don't know. Just for me, like, I'm not touching my legs or like my arms or my neck or my head. Like, I'm not caressing my body. I'm not getting nothing from that.
Are you not getting anything from that because you've never done it?
I feel like a bitch. Like, it's just like, fuck, it's too sensual for me.
But why does sensuality have to be a feminine thing? And if it is a feminine thing, why can't you connect to your feminine side in that way and just explore that part of you? It seems like that part of you is extremely repressed.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel natural even. It doesn't feel like it wants to come out of me and I'm suppressing it. It doesn't seem active. It seems completely dormant in my being. So it's just, I do what feels natural to me, and just those kind of things just never came up.
And it doesn't have to be, you caressing your freaking chest. It doesn't have to be something like that, but it could be like you stimulate your balls more.
I do that. I will say I have started to do that.
And how has that
balls and gooch? I have started doing it. And
when did you start doing that?
I would say
there was a bug. I didn't just flick my hand. Okay.
I would say probably over the last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how's that been, adding that new sensation?
It's nice.
So how about expanding to other parts of your body?
No, I mean, because that's all still right in my genital region. So it's been nice. It adds a nice little extra level of sensation, I guess, but it's not intense enough to make me come from that. Like, adding that, but I'm saying just adding that's not going to make me come faster or harder per se.
But again, it's not just about the end goal. It's about the middle and the beginning.
The enjoying of the jingling of the balls.
Yes, just jingle your balls because you can. Jingle bells.
I do that. It's cool. I do it for only a little bit. Maybe I need to try like longer and see. Yeah. But I enjoy that.
Even if you don't want to expand to your chest, as you said, just your inner thigh. Just the inner thigh gooch balls. Like, stimulate that for just like 3 minutes more than you normally would, or even when you feel like this is unnatural, do it for 30 seconds longer and see what happens.
I'm gonna try it out.
I haven't been stimulating other parts of my body. Like, I do stimulate my chest, but I haven't been doing that often. So like, for me, in the way that I want to start masturbating again is just like really stimulating different parts of me. Like, I can do nipple gasms and just like giving myself one. I've never done that. And just like touching other parts of me. I really want to figure out what stimulates me more, because when you stimulate it more, it becomes more active. Like you said, it's a part of you that's dormant. So if you open that door and make it more awakened, when we have sex, it's like those tingly parts, it's like your brain, it's muscle memory. It remembers how good that felt, so it just can make orgasm when you have sex with me even better.
Speaking of that, I will say an area where I think I can expand more and enjoy it in a different connected kind of way is masturbating in front of you.
I was just about to go into that.
Yeah, I think that I would enjoy that. Like, I'll really actually get something out of that as opposed to caressing my body per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, just because it's like being vulnerable in that way and pushing through that and that feeling that it comes. Because even now, anytime I'll do it, I'll still feel that. And just tap into my exhibitionist side and performing in that way. I think that could be really sexy, and I can enjoy that. So yeah, I can do that more.
Yeah, there's mutual masturbation is something that I've been wanting to do with you since forever. And it's really cool because it really just allows, it allows us to be able to touch ourselves in a way that can just be really erotic because you now have a witness and usually you don't. I won't masturbate on my stomach. I can tap into that more sexy side of masturbating with me, but also just to teach your partner how you like to be touched.
Right.
Like you teach me through like me touching you, but to show me like this is what I like and this is what I enjoy, and just like giving you like a visual manual of like this is how I like my body to be touched, rather than just like the verbal and the experimenting.
Yeah.
I think it could be really erotic and really sexy.
Yeah, because you sent me a video the other day, and just with the angle of the camera, I was able to really see the things that you tell me that you like, oh, okay, she likes it like that. And it was actually really helpful for me in that way. But as you were saying it, I was thinking about the fact that, I don't know, I think in general, not a you thing, but in general, I'm not turned on strongly, like a little bit, yeah, absolutely. But like strongly, I'm not really turned on by watching a woman masturbate. Like in porn, it doesn't do anything for me. It's like watching lesbian scenes. Like they don't do shit for me. And I think just watching a woman masturbate doesn't really turn me on. For you, because we have such a deep, intimate connection and love for each other, I can tap into it a little bit more, but it's not the most easy. It's not the easiest thing for me to do.
Yeah.
So I think, being able, maybe hop off the porn for a little bit, and we venture into more of that with each other and connected masturbation, just for the sake of exploring and trying something different. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm down for it too.
Yeah.
One thing that you did say, you said that tapping into your what is it called, exhibitionism, and just performing for it. Like one of the things that I was reading when I was studying mutual masturbation was not to perform. It's not about performance. It's about like, imagine, it's kind of like, yes, connect with that person that you're doing this mutual masturbation with, because there's ways to do it. There's two ways that at least I know of. One is you're just masturbating and I'm just witnessing you. So I'm not touching myself, you're not touching me, I'm not touching you. And I'm just witnessing you so that I can just, one, enjoy what I'm seeing and also learn. And in that, you don't want to be performative because you really want to show that person what gets you off. And you just kind of want to also just learn how to be vulnerable in that sense of just, this is my natural being. This is like what I look like when I just please myself. And having someone bear witness to that is really, really private, really vulnerable, really, really intimate.
But again, I gotta watch porn in order to be able to get in that zone. So at least maybe for the beginning, maybe I can grow into just being able to do it without anything.
Yeah, and that would be also cool too, watching each other's porn.
Yeah, I need that for sure. But because of that, well, if there's porn involved, I can do it and not be performative and just get in my zone if I got some hot porn on the screen. But if we're not doing porn, I need to tap into you, and so therefore there is for me a performative aspect of it because I'm connecting with you. So I want you to see me do my thing. So that's what gets me off. I don't know. It's just for me. Like I need that.
I like that explanation. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The second way to mutually masturbate with somebody is to mutually masturbate with somebody. So like it's literally you're masturbating on one side of the bed and I'm on the other side of the bed and we are on both sides of the bed. Masturbating and just, viewing each other and experiencing each other, touch ourselves, and also paying attention so we can learn like, oh, like she likes like that or he likes it like this. And really just being in tune. And what my goal with that, what I really want to see is like how far, how long can we go before it's just like so overwhelming that we must touch each other. That's what I want to do.
Got some work to do. Got some homework.
That's some intense foreplay.
Yeah, we got some good stuff here. I definitely think that in exploring and pushing it to another level, we can all, us and the listeners and viewers at home can really unlock new levels of intimacy with partners and connectedness and just exploration, because I didn't think I'd be as open to this prior to this conversation. I'm like, yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, it sounds
I've been beating my joint, for many a years. We and him, we solid, but it's like clocking in to work, clocking out.
Yeah.
Let's get this money real quick and go home. and it's great. It's great.
Let's get out of those habitual ways.
Yeah, but I'm open to something new.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can give y'all an update on what our experience is like.
Yeah. You know, so hopefully y'all got something out of today's episode and, you know, new ways to explore yourselves with masturbation and, you know, partners that you're with. And just being open and vulnerable and connected. You know, I definitely got that from today's conversation. You know, so as always, make sure to share this with somebody, to like, support, comment, let us know. Let us know about your experiences. And let's all continue to build this community. Again, thank you all for tuning in, checking us out on another episode, checking out everything that we're doing. Always going to be continuing to come with new and organic ways to further this conversation as we all explore together. So make sure you check us out on all your podcast streaming platforms and on YouTube at Both Sides of the Bed.
You can also check us out on Instagram and on TikTok at Both Sides of the Bed. You can also check us out on our website at bothsidesofthebed.tv. And if you want intimate relationship coaching with me, you can check us out. You can check me out at b-intimate.com. The link is also in our bio on our Instagram.
So until next time, you beautiful people.
Until next time.
Stay tuned for the sexy.
Stay tuned for the sexy.